Welcome to the World Wire Update. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for more updates and thrilling short scenes. The world is watching as the United States and China clash in a new, high-stakes economic confrontation. China has begun selling off massive amounts of its U.S. Treasury holdings, a financial weapon aimed at the heart of the American economy. This move sent shockwaves through global markets, signaling a more aggressive phase in their rivalry. In response, former President Donald Trump has proposed a 50% tariff on all goods imported from the BRICS nations, including China. This is a clear message. The U.S. is willing to take drastic measures to protect its interests. The proposed tariffs are meant to counter what Trump calls unfair trade practices and to bring manufacturing jobs back to America. These decisions will be felt in homes and businesses worldwide, affecting prices, jobs, and entire industries. From American farmers to Chinese factory workers, no one is untouched by this economic showdown. As of September 28, 2025, the situation is tense and rapidly evolving. Financial markets are on edge, businesses are scrambling, and consumers are bracing for impact. In this video, we'll break down why China is selling U.S. debt and what it means. We'll examine Trump's proposed tariffs and their potential effects. We'll look at how this economic battle is impacting people and businesses on both sides of the Pacific. And finally, we'll consider what the future might hold in this new era of global economic warfare. Let's dive in. To understand this conflict, we need to understand U.S. Treasuries, essentially IOUs issued by the U.S. government. For decades, these bonds have been considered among the safest investments, attracting countries like China to buy huge amounts. By holding U.S. debt, China was lending money to the U.S., creating a relationship of financial interdependence. But now, China is selling off billions in U.S. Treasuries, a move that's both financial strategy and political statement. When a major holder like China sells, the supply of bonds rises, prices fall, and interest rates go up. Higher loan costs, market volatility, and global uncertainty. China's sell-off is a powerful signal. Beijing is willing to use its financial leverage as a tool in its disputes with Washington. It's a way of saying, we can hurt you financially. This move complicates an already tense relationship and could destabilize markets worldwide. The sale of treasuries isn't just a financial transaction, it's a strategic move in a much larger geopolitical game. The consequences are just beginning to unfold. Investors are watching closely and governments are recalibrating their strategies. The world's two largest economies are now locked in a battle that goes far beyond tariffs and trade. The stakes, global economic stability. The outcome, still uncertain. The next moves will shape the future of international finance. Now let's look at the American response, centered on the BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries represent a huge share of global economic power and are working to reduce their dependence on the US dollar. Trump's answer to China's sell-off? A proposed 50% tariff on all BRICS imports. The goal: make foreign goods more expensive, encourage Americans to buy domestic, and pressure BRICS countries to change their trade practices. Trump argues this will protect American jobs and punish unfair trade, especially from China. But the move is controversial. It could alienate key partners like India and Brazil, disrupt global trade, and raise prices for U.S. consumers. Critics warn it's a risky gamble that could backfire, hurting American businesses and families. The tariff wall marks a dramatic shift from free trade to protectionism. It's a declaration of economic warfare, with global supply chains and alliances at stake. The world is watching to see if this bold move will force change or spark retaliation. The stakes have never been higher. These economic battles hit home in real ways. A 50% tariff on BRICS goods means higher prices for everyday items, electronics, clothing, furniture, and more. That extra cost is passed down to consumers. Your $800 smartphone could cost much more. Home renovations get pricier, with tariffs on kitchen cabinets and vanities. Businesses relying on imported parts face tough choices: absorb costs or raise prices. The U.S. semiconductor industry faces new rules: make one chip in the U.S. for everyone imported, potentially driving up costs for all electronics. Even a tax on electronics based on chip count is being considered, threatening to fuel inflation. For BRICS countries, the pain is real too. Factories lose orders, jobs are at risk, and long-standing trade relationships are disrupted. The tariffs create a wall that hurts workers and businesses on both sides. The result? Economic hardship, uncertainty, and rising costs for families everywhere. The global supply chain is under siege. The impact is immediate and personal. No one is immune. The trade war targets specific industries with precision. American agriculture is hit hard. China has stopped buying U.S. soybeans, devastating farmers who relied on that market. Prices plummet, and livelihoods are at risk. The pharmaceutical industry faces a 100% tariff on patented drugs, pressuring foreign companies to manufacture in the U.S. The result? Higher drug prices for American patients and falling stock prices for European drug makers. The automotive sector isn't spared. A 25% tariff on heavy trucks hits European manufacturers, raising costs for U.S. trucking companies and, ultimately, consumers. Some companies like Merck and Johnson & Johnson are investing billions in new U.S. facilities to adapt. But these changes take time. Meanwhile, businesses face chaos and consumers bear the brunt. The goal is to strengthen American industry, but the short-term pain is real. Every sector, from farms to pharmacies, is feeling the squeeze. The trade war's reach is wide and growing. The cost of conflict is measured in jobs, prices, and uncertainty. The stakes keep rising. Behind the headlines, intense negotiations are underway. U.S. and Chinese officials have held multiple rounds of talks, making progress on some fronts but clashing on others. Small breakthroughs offer hope, a major Boeing deal, and a plan for Oracle to invest in TikTok's U.S. operations. But the broader landscape is shifting. The U.S. is renegotiating trade with the EU, lowering tariffs on European goods, while talks with South Korea stall. Meanwhile, the G7 and EU are considering ways to counter China's dominance in rare earth minerals. New alliances are forming, and global trade is becoming more fragmented and competitive. The era of smooth globalization is fading, replaced by confrontation and shifting power dynamics. The US and China remain at the center of this storm. Every negotiation, every deal is a move in a high-stakes global chess game. The world's economic order is being rewritten in real time. The outcome will shape the next decade. The pressure is on. We're at a turning point in economic history. China's Treasury sell-off and America's aggressive tariffs have set the stage for profound uncertainty. The risks, higher borrowing costs, market instability, and a possible global slowdown. The trade-off: protecting domestic industry versus keeping prices affordable. The best-case scenario? Negotiations lead to a new, balanced trade relationship. The worst? A spiraling trade war that hurts workers and businesses worldwide. The choices made in Washington, Beijing, and beyond will determine the outcome. For now, families and businesses must brace for change and uncertainty. The US-China economic war is the defining story of our time. The world watches and waits.